Well, this is the fella.
Me.
So, this is the wise guy that tried to steal my dough.
I can't help it. I like bread too much.
Boy.
What? Oh, hey. Hey, Barry, how you doing? Me.
Do you know this tea leaf?
Tea leaf?
Yeah, like I'd associate with a caveman?
Rod does not seem to know you.
Like, is it okay if I go now? I gotta go powder my nose.
She's so prissy.
Right. Let's get back to business. I just got one thing to do. I'll be with you in a minute. People.
This scene originally had
levels of respect.
a Pikachu tail visible behind a table.
They can expect
And,
to be respected back.
the Don
One of
here,
you
Don
guys
Weezo,
show no respect.
beat Pikachu
Who is?
with
I don't know.
a bat or whatever he uses,
Could have
and then
been
afterwards says, gotta catch 'em all, which makes no sense in the context.
Polly.
But they changed that, and he's beating up Polly instead. And this is the other Frankie in the game. He mentioned Frankie, but this is Frankie with an I-E instead of with a Y. So that makes it different. Poor Polly.
Look, you know, you can have the money. In fact, I've got more
Don
money.
Weezo,
Have that
obvious
if you want.
Godfather
Oh, no,
reference.
my dollars.
Godfather is another movie that I watched because of this.
But you gotta do me a little job first.
And I liked The Godfather.
Yeah, cool. But I mean, you know,
Haven't
I'm gonna
seen
have
the
to-
second one.
I'll have to consider it first.
I would like to
What is it?
eventually.
What I have to do.
Third one, I've heard, has a great ending, but it's otherwise just kind of eh. So I'm not sure if I'll watch that one or not. Probably not, but maybe.
Okay. Here's the plan. We got ourselves.
Oh shoot, this part is gonna be... Ooh, I'm worried.
Little problem.
The next two parts of the
You already
game
got the disguise, so that's
that are
not
both
gonna
part of this Ugga
What
Bugga
else
chapter,
you need is one of these.
like this line though.
A
It's
bomb.
called a bomb. Just like squirrel, I've heard of them.
Are the problem. Where they came from, I don't know. They seem totally out of place in this.
I don't get why he says that. They seem totally out of place in this ecosystem. They're prehistoric creatures in a prehistoric land. Doesn't that make sense?
What I propose
Then again, where are we now?
is use your disguise acumen.
Where is this? There's never...
Here,
We're just kind of in an entirely different location now.
down,
Disconnected from everything else in the game.
out of here,
Okay, so not Roxanne, but Roxy. Okay.
and drop it.
I was
here.
close.
By the way, when that bomb goes off, I suggest you leave town. And if you don't pull it off,
I suggest you leave town.
Let's go to work.
Yeah, I'm worried about this part. It's not hard, but if you get hit by anything, or if you run out of time with the bomb, and it's not very forgiving, then you instantly die. So, there's a point at which you have to, like, whenever you're going down this ramp, you have to cut the corner or else you're not going to make it. But you can't cut the corner too much, or else you'll fall and then die because you took fall damage and were holding a bomb. This looks good. The music here gets more and more intense as the time goes on. And oh my gosh, does it get intense. And it's music that I really appreciate in this game for that reason. Okay, please don't swing back. Oh, thank you. Goodness. That's the part that I was really worried about. This one stays open for us. Thank you, Euthila. You're my friend. We'll hang out and drink some hot chocolate later, I guess. I don't know. Stay to the right. No, don't slow down, please. Please, please. There is very little room for error with this bomb. Oh man, music's so intense. Did we make it? Yes. Thank goodness. But the hardest part is still to come.
Oh no. Oh no.
And it has nothing to do with the lava rising.
Oh no.
Well, it might have something to do with the lava rising, but... This part is fairly inconsequential. We just kind of jump over platforms and then they sink, and so we can't get back. Supposedly, this game is a little bit like the water temple in Ocarina of Time, according to what people say about it, about getting stuck if you use the keys in the wrong place, which you probably can't. But, supposedly you can screw yourself out of beating this game by not collecting all the money in that location before flooding it with lava. But I think there's still enough money elsewhere in the game that's optional, so that you can get everything. And it might also be possible to come back to this area later, but I'm not really positive about that.
I recognize that money. Oh no. What is
I like that line.
When a squirrel can't even go to a dinosaur-themed world without getting mugged by a bunch of prehistoric brats. Oi, give me my money back.
Oi.
Back to the moon.
Oi. 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 And he's dead.
Now that gives me another idea.
They really put a lot of effort into the texturing on those behinds. Those posteriorities. Posteriority? I want to watch all of the other reindeer again soon. Good Christmas movie, because it's closing in on Christmas time. I mean, it is Christmas time, it's just not Christmas yet. Gyrospazzers. Whatever that means. I know, like, gyroscope, but I thought that was with a Y instead of an I. Okay, this is what it all comes down to. This isn't the last part of the, like, sections that I'm worried about before Spooky, but this is the worst of it. This is the part that... Well, I assume this is the part of the game that you're supposed to be able to... Like, you are supposed to die here, no matter what. Is my assumption. But, okay. But I want to prove, if I can, that this part can be beaten without any deaths. We will see if I succeed in doing this. And if I don't, then this is the end of the run. And I'll just have to go through the rest of the game normally, but that'll be for another day. Ooh, no. Okay. Big thing about it is those dinosaur feet. They are the big problem. Okay, I can get past this. Need to catch up with the cavemen. Where are you, cavemen? Okay, where's the dinosaur now? Okay, speed around it. I would like to have found the cavemen by now. Sometimes you get hit on that tail and it's awful. I can catch up. And after I catch up with you, I can slow down a little bit. Ooh, no, dang it! Well, there it is. I'm sure it's possible to get past that point, but... Hey, getting up to this point in the game without any deaths is still an accomplishment. I guess. I will get that someday, I hope. Or I just won't. I would have liked to do it on recording, but... Either way, it's useful to see this scene for the context of the Let's Play anyways.
I can't be asked for this bloody ridiculous contraption. Whose idea was this anyway? Right. Hello.
Hello.
My name's Greg, the Grim Reaper. And don't laugh.
Aren't you a little short to be a Grim Reaper?
Well, how many Grim Reapers have you met before, mate? What am I supposed to look like?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well made.
Now, let's see.
Kind of an excellent character.
Ah, yes. Conker.
It's a really short
The
list of
squirrel.
dead people
The squirrel.
on that scroll.
Oh, bloody hell, you would have to be a sodding squirrel, wouldn't you?
Why, is there a problem with that?
Well, yes, there is, actually. It's like those bloody cats. such a pain in the ass. You're one of these special cases.
Oh, really?
Yes. Apparently, according to the powers that be, I'm just doing my job.
What is payment
I do
in the
what I'm told.
afterlife?
I don't even get paid
Well, I
for
guess
it.
there's like the
Apparently,
2 coins to cross the
squirrels
river
can have
Styx.
as many lives as they think they can get away with.
Oh, I see.
You're dead, but not
Well, I'm
quite.
not dead.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Rip off
Not
of
quite.
Princess Bride, why don't you?
Well, I'll be off then.
Just you wait, smart ass. You don't get out of it that easily. Now, the thing is, you may not be dead, but that doesn't mean you can't die. You just have a few more, shall we say...
This is another one of those things that doesn't require an explanation,
I hate those.
but they offer one anyway.
Distributed
I like that
around
animation
the
wherever he
world are these tail things.
scratches the inside of his eye socket.
If you can get them, I'll give you an extra chance. Understand?
Just imagine not having eyeballs and having the inside of your eye socket itch, and that's exactly what it would be like.
The best bloody deal you're going to get, you little prick. Right, that's it. Piss off. I've got some cats to see. Bloody things. I hate those bloody cats. The way they meow and they piss everywhere, and their shit smells just...
Yeah,
bloody
well,
awful. All over
in other Let's Plays, I assume you would have seen that scene earlier than this, but, yeah, just kinda, it's there now. I love the whole bit with the cats, though. Cats having 9 lives, it's such a pain for the Grim Reaper. Okay, well, I guess we can relax a little bit now that I know that I'm not going to get this all in one go. Just my guess is that if you somehow got through this part of the game, okay. If you somehow got through this part without having died at all up to this point, then there might be... Well, like, there's a cutscene coming up that's right before the spooky chapter, where Conker gets knocked unconscious. He gets conked unconscious, you might say. And, I have this feeling that maybe that cutscene would be where the death scene plays. But I don't know that, that's just kind of a guess. Yeah, now that I'm not thinking so hard about game overs, I can just speed through this, and... yeah, now this is a lot easier. I almost feel like maybe they made this part nearly impossible for a first playthrough, and not for any deaths after that. Okay, here's the part where that turns. What? I thought I turned more than that. Okay, well, thank you for providing me with lots of deaths to experience. Lava Reef Zone and Sonic. Don't hit the tail. That tail is the worst. Because it doesn't look like it would have any sort of hitbox to it, but then it does. Why does that dinosaur have to be perusing back and forth like he's Sherlock Holmes with a pipe in his mouth? Thinking about a case. Maybe he's hot on the trail of some caveman thieves, but we've got the thieves right here. Why aren't you chasing after these guys? They stole my money. Darn you, Dino Holmes. It's elementary, my dear prehistoric creature. No idea what I'm saying. And now I'm thinking of that part in Futurama, whichever episode it is where they think that they're going into the distant future, and then it turns out that it's just like, ah, darn it. Then it turns out it's just, Los Angeles. I think. And there are all the kids playing deathboarding. That's like deathboarding. It's like skateboarding, but you die half the time. So it's actually safer than skateboarding. Come here, caveman. Cave dumpling. It's almost too, like, refined to call you a man, given whatever you are. I don't know what kind of creature you are. You're just a rare creature. Like in that Dilbert comic, where they say, "Hey, I'll have my unicorn burger rare, get it?" Don't know why there were unicorn burgers. But there were, just somewhere. That's bad. Good, okay. Well, that's a game over, I think. We haven't seen any of the game over things yet, so might as well show that. First we get through this with no deaths, and now we're just hitting a game over after many deaths.
So, did you get him?
Yes.
Yeah, there are different game overs depending on how you die. If you die in the water, then they say, "It's a bit wet, though." And then if you die from normal means, then you're just struggling under the table and you're wrapped up in rope. And the rope is so thick that Conker can't move his mouth. Oh, dearie dear. Well, let's press on. I forgot that we had the frying pan after all this. Even though I was using it earlier, I just forgot. You could definitely fry some eggs in this place. I think the concept of lava surfing is really cool. Not the most logical thing. Dang. You know, slowing down was working for me at first with that other run. Why don't I just do that again? Because it's slow, that's why. Such a twitchy tail on that dinosaur, but not a twitchy nose. Or a long and snotty nose, and also flappy ears. Come here, shorty! That works. You speed up and slow down just by pressing up or down on the control stick. Nice and useful. I can do it. Yeah. $536 is a really strange amount, but that's a third of your money, so that's why that is a thing. Could you skate just a little bit slower? Oh man, I thought that was going to kill me, but it didn't. No, it's not there yet. Never mind. The music went in all different directions than I expected. In my art class in high school, I made a CD of video game music to have play in class. And this was one of the songs that I included on the CD. But we never ended up actually listening to it, because by the time we actually got to this music on the CD, it was near the end of class, and then the teacher turned it off. And I thought, man, that's one of the ones that I really wanted people to hear. Why did you have to turn that off? Not that it's his fault or anything. Stupid legs. Stupid legs. Don't kill me. You killed me. Great. I've never died that way before, just getting hit by 3 legs in different times. Not exploding by normal one-hit death means, but by slowly being chipped away, all my chocolate being drained from me, every last bit. Normally chocolate is supposed to be a thing that kills you if you eat too much of it, but no, I need chocolate to live. It's another thing that makes this game edgy. Because it makes you think that chocolate's the thing that makes you survive. But maybe it is. Maybe this game is actually an allegory for depression, and how in order to move on with life, you need to just sometimes go all out a little bit, you know, go outside your your normal comfort zone with food and just have a little bit of sweets, because sweets are therapeutic. Yeah. Lava surfing. This is what I expected to do with no deaths. Great idea. Green hair. Come on, Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob does not have green hair, but his hairstyle just reminds me of that. There was some image on the Simpsons Twitter where Sideshow Bob had he was like sitting in a pile of his hair and it was making the shape of a Christmas tree. That was odd. Yeah, this freaking dinosaur. This dinosaur is the death of mainly just me, and apparently not the cavemen, because the cavemen can just go right through his legs. This isn't that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. I'm making it out to be harder than it is. I need to tell myself this. I could have beaten this in one try if I really, really wanted it. Slow down. Here we go. I guess if I wanted to know what happens whenever you go through this part with no deaths, I could look up some playthrough of this game. Because there are probably speedruns where people get through this game without glitches or anything and reach the end with no deaths. Then again, there might be situations when dying is actually faster, in which case it might not be... heck if I know. Well, dying at all would require you to go through that whole cutscene, so that can't be faster, right? Thinking about stuff that I'll never experience for myself, I'm sure. Stupid tail. Hey, Bone Hair. That's not a clever name, but shut up. I don't need clever names whenever I'm making fun of you. You're not worth it. Why waste my brain power on things without brain power? Okay. And it suddenly changes for no good reason. New lava surfing path. Avoid the tail. This is nice scenery. Besides just, you know, the rocks and stuff. There's lots of green grass and vines and stuff here. It's kind of cool. Ah, shoot, there it is again. I forgot about the turn. It is a turn that you are not allowed to forget about, and then it shifts back once you're done with this guy. Once he's out of the picture and dead and gone, and he's prehistory. Caveman! Caveman... Would you mind slowing down just a little bit for my sake? I promise I will give you milk and cookies, and also a back rub. By which I mean I'm just going to hit you, and then you're going to spin out and explode in a ball of flames. Burst in a ball of flames in the Alcohol Hall of Shame. And why is this one taking so much longer than the others? This can't be that hard. Oh boy, that went all over the place. Tail? Tails? Tails? You're not Tails. I'm going as fast as I can. What is up with this? I should have caught up with you by now. I know I'm slowing down for the dinosaur, but that's kind of necessary. Okay. Now the path is going to be back to normal. All that we need to do is the final jump, and then I think I will be done for now. But we have to pay attention to the dinosaurus. Oh boy, that was a little bit funky, but we made it through. Not the way that I was hoping, but we made it through nonetheless. Well, I've been recording for 3 hours. I guess I will call it a day. We'll see the rest of this some other time.
Ah, yeah, this is more like it.